Hello YouTube, got a monster. Today, I'm doing something a little different. We're in the solo mode, because I wanted to take some time and kind of talk about my mouse deck. It's a rather simple deck. Let's see what we have here. So Lone Wolf is one of the key pieces of my setup. As you know, it works with Chusuke the Mouse Fighter specifically. If I only have Chusuke on the field, it makes him unaffected by any of my opponent's monster effects and indestructible in battle. That forces him to have to deal with this card before it can deal with Chusuke. Once I have Chusuke, Mage Power is my other key piece to this combo. I'll use it to boost Chusuke's attack, making him a rather powerful beater. Combined with this means that he's a rather powerful beater that's really hard to get rid of. Of course, that's easily destroyed by Harpy's Feather Duster or something of the like. And frankly, there's mini cards that can remove traps like this. The rest are mostly support, centered around the idea of trying to stall the game to help me get those pieces, or help deal with people trying to eliminate these back row cards. This will be just sort of a simple duel, so I can kind of showpiece what cards are here and what they're doing. I don't need this anymore. This will help lock him down. If he summons another monster, I'll just deal with it. We can put this out though. Rather unlucky with not getting a monster. So this time we're going to have to use this. So as you know, this will flip their monsters face down. I don't think that interrupts my wheel, but I could be wrong. I've never used that at the same time. I guess it does interrupt. Good enough. Finally, a monster. Okay, Giant Rat is a key piece. Really, Chusuke is the main setup here because of Lone Wolf. The rest of my monsters are centered around trying to get Chusuke out. So Giant Rat, if he's destroyed, will allow me to summon him directly on the field. I also have Key Mouse, which if destroyed will allow him to summon to my hand. I could go ahead and waste a Mage Power. I think I will. Normally I would want to save my Mage Powers for Chusuke, because a Mage Power and Giant Rat could be really wasteful. Without the protection of something like Lone Wolf, he's easily disrupted. See. Example A. One thing about this deck is you have to be careful not to block yourself on the back row. You need Lone Wolf and Mage Power for the setup to work. But you also need some in your back row to help boost Mage Powers. So there's a key mouse. So as you can see, you'll want to put this face down. Once it gets hit, it'll allow me to bring a Chusuke to my hand. We'll save this setup. I don't even want to put this on the board yet, in case he does something to it. We're going to be vulnerable here, though. Activate that, and that's how we get Chusuke. So this doesn't work at all anymore. This is a dead card. So that's something definitely worth noting. Got down. Frankly, if our system is disrupted this time, we might lose this duel. I really want to get rid of these Crimson Ninjas, because if they have something that'll flip them back down and up, that could be the end of me. This deck, like many of the decks I play, is rather slow. I'm okay with that. I like to play very slow and methodically. Wait a minute. Is this another Crimson Ninja? It very well could be. No, I'm kind of scared to flip it. But he's gonna flip it next turn anyway, right? Okay, good. Get rid of those Crimson Ninjas first. It's important to always read your opponent's cards. Sometimes they make it difficult. Sometimes they have scrolls and scrolls of text. But especially with a deck like this, you always want to find the prime targets. Save his normal monsters for last. So Monster Reborn, I use it in two ways. There are some long-lasting duels in which I end up losing all of my Chusukes. So it's using those instances to get a Chusuke back. Oftentimes I know that my setup is so difficult to pull off that once I get Monster Reborn, I'll often resort to pulling out an enemy monster. Especially against meta decks, you can really disrupt them by taking one of those. is gone. So, with my deck, do not put a second monster out once you've activated Lone Wolf on a Chusuke. Again, he must be the only monster on the field. But it is good to have in my hand in case I need a backup. Dang it. Now that Lone Wolf is gone, Chusuke is exposed. We can easily just summon this. We might also do a Monster Reborn. Do we have anything good? Not really. I'll take a Feral Limb. I'd be better off getting a Giant Rat. Sure, let's do it. We're going to save this Dimension Wall. They already have one up, and we're going to want room for more of our setup if we get it. My extra deck, this is just stuff that I had already, that I threw together. Most of it's kind of pointless. I might be able to summon there. So, Key Mouse is a tuner. That's one of the reasons I would run synchro cards. So, let's put him out there. We'll put him in attack because if he gets attacked, I'll use Dimension Wall. Oh, that's a no. What am I missing? One tuner, plus one non-tuner. Okay. No, I'm going to go ahead and set that. We're gonna go for the face down. Which is a good thing. No, let's not crash. If he wants to crash, that's fine. The only reason we would ever crash there is you can have that back. Second Chusuke. You know I'm not about taking any damage. Let's take another Giant Rat. So you can see there with the Giant Rats and the Key Mice, the bounce back potential is really nice. I'm unfortunately very unlucky with the cards I'm getting right now, but what do I do here? Set that there. Nothing more pulling. Chusuke is again alone. Burden of the Mighty. Alright, so that's right, okay. This card isn't always useful for me. So most people have so many other types of links or synchro summons that they immediately pull out that this doesn't affect. But there are some duels which it's really useful. And again, it's really just there to weaken up my opponent a little more. Keep them from attacking me. My cards on average just have such low attack power. Unless I have a mage power attached to it, they're not going to do anything until I have my setup going. In situations like that, it also helps me get a little extra damage off. Okay. There still wouldn't be any point in pulling out the other Chusuke just yet. I'm really kind of banking on getting my lone wolf out. Or another mage power. Oof. The pain. Okay. Now we're a little bit in trouble. Pot of Extravagance. Again, as I said, most of my extra deck does not matter. So that's just a really good draw to the card. Unexpected Die is basically another help me pull out Chusuke card. So this time, we'll do that. We'll do that. This is how a lot of my duels go with this deck. It's even against other weaker decks. It's very slow. So the duels tend to take a long time. And there's my setup. So now we have Mage Power there. And that's a win. So after this, we'll take a quick look at the deck, so we can look at any cards that I didn't get to use there. So Squeak Knight, it's another sort of stall card for me. If I don't get anything worthwhile that will protect Chusuke or one of the others, I'll pull this and attach it to Chusuke, because Chusuke would be destroyed with this attached to it. This gets destroyed instead. Just a little extra survivability. Plus it's another mice. So. 2 Raigekis, 3 swords. Again, that's just the main stall tactic. Harpy's Feather Duster. Monster Reborn. Pot of Benevolence is another card recovery setup in case I lose all of my Chusukes, or I lose all of my mage powers, which happens more often. I can get them back that way. Expected Die, we've seen. Pot of Extravagance. Magic Cylinders and Dimension Walls are my damage reflections. They're really just to stall. I mean, the extra damage against my opponent is nice, but they're really just there to help stall the turn more. Burden of the Mighty we talked about. Concealing Light is really nowhere near as useful as Swords of Revealing Light, but there are situations where it's really helpful. My field spell, it's not all that important, which is why I only have one of them. But I use Gaia Power because all of my mice, except for Squeak Knight, are Earth. So that's really nice. Unstable Evolution. That's actually a new one I just put in the deck. So, oftentimes with this deck, I get hit pretty hard pretty early because my deck is so slow. And then once I've got my deck set up, I usually make a comeback. That tends to be how my duels go. So this seemed really handy to have something that if my life points are lower, my attack gets boosted. Using this to equip on, like, say, Chusuke to make his attack power 2400, and then using a mage power on him can really boost his attack really high. I have had moments where I've even attached this to a key mouse, because even if my life points dip lower, the key mouse's attack moves to 1000. That's still way higher than it was. So either way, it's beneficial. We have 3 mage powers. We have Power Frame, which we've seen but didn't really use. This is just another way for me to boost my card's attack powers. Which is sort of the thing that this deck tries to tackle. Is my first problem when trying to build this deck was, well, how do I make these monsters useful? Because I knew about the Lone Wolf setup with Chusuke, but with such a low attack power, it didn't seem to matter. So really I just needed any way I could think of to boost his attack power to make him somewhat useful. Gravity Bind. This, sort of like Burden of the Mighty, has limited usefulness. Again, it doesn't do a whole lot against an extra deck, which most people just immediately summon into anyways. But it has proven pretty useful at times. The one downside is that it does block my Giant Rat. So if I have a mage power on Giant Rat, or Unstable Evolution or something like that, I will not play Gravity Bind for those reasons. But outside of Giant Rat, it should protect anything else and allow them to attack. Some of my favorite setups are having my Lone Wolf, Mage Power, whatnot on Chusuke, and then with a Gravity Bind. It's really nice, it's really satisfying. Nightmare Will we've seen, it just sort of, avoids an attack. The burn damage is just an added bonus. Lone Wolves we've seen. Fiendish Chain is one we didn't see. So it does prevent an attack, but the real reason I have it is to negate an effect monster. Because oftentimes it's that effect monster that'll start to remove my cards, remove my setup. So that is the mouse deck profile. I hadn't really gotten a chance to talk about it before since I didn't have a mic, but now that I have a mic, I figured I'd go ahead and talk about it. Let me know if you like these sort of styled videos. If so, I may talk about my Jinzo deck next. Otherwise, I've got a whole slew of content coming up. And yeah, that's all I've got for today. Have a good one.